All right, so we've got the boycott standings updated. Talk about some unequal treatment. And hey, they're killing Kennedy. Again. Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Two hands and a foot. We won't tell you who's who. Before we get started, though, go ahead and click that like button. Click that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you don't ever miss an episode, and then share this with your friends so they can get out there and we can make this big time. All right, let's get into it. So, the boycott against Anheuser-Busch is going strong. A couple months into it now, Target and Kohl's are all there. Starbucks is not really a boycott, but the lady did just now win her case against Starbucks for being fired for being white. Billions of dollars have been lost by these companies. Billions of dollars. I can't imagine. I can't imagine losing a couple $100, let alone billions of dollars, and being okay with it. I can't imagine that. So the idea of having that much money is just astronomical to me. The thing though is I can say this is I'm kind of impressed. I'm kind of impressed at the fact that these companies aren't backing down. You say, well, isn't the point of the boycott to get these companies to back down and to do what the consumer wishes? Yes, that's true. But if you look at their tactics, they're following their tactics. They actually have a set. You saw what happened to that Blue Jays pitcher, Anthony Bass. He posted that post. He got reamed for it. Next day, he apologized for it. Gave in to the pressure. And then he still got what essentially is being fired anyway. Now, Anheuser-Busch, Kohl's, Target, they're not backing down. They're doubling down on their efforts. They're giving money to the alphabet soup groups. And they're still not apologizing or saying that what they're doing is absolutely horrendously wrong, according to their customer base. As a matter of fact, Anheuser-Busch is let me get this correct, is "We Hear You" is their newest campaign. As sales are plummeting, Bud Light has fallen 25%. Now, we have their original Budweiser down 11.2, Michelob Ultra's down 6.5, Busch Light's down 5.2, and Natty Light is down 4.9%. And so the CEO, Brendan Whitworth, is now pushing out this 3-part plan to kind of help. He says, first, we are investing to protect the jobs of our frontline employees. Second, we are providing financial assistance to our independent wholesalers to help them support their employees. That's the first 2 points. And so his third point, which he addressed to the companies and, quote, valued customers, and he says to them, quote, "We hear you." So it just so happens to coincide with the fact, though, that their summer advertising launches soon. And so they want you to forget their oops, their mistake. No, we won't still drink your beer. We won't go out in record numbers and get back. Your summer campaign's not going to do any good for you. And here's the point at which I think it's safe to say that even if you did apologize, you may never get back to where you were as the king of beers. Anheuser-Busch, you doubled down and you went all in, and you had, a Deuce 3 offsuit. Sorry, buddy. Not working for you. But they're not capitulating to what's happening, the pressure. They're not backing down. I know we want them to, and hopefully eventually they do. They realize that the majority of the people in this nation don't agree with that lifestyle and what they're trying to do to our children. And so maybe, one day, maybe, the sales will come back, but who knows? Who knows? On another note, Hunter Biden. If you have not heard already. So, to back up a little bit, President Trump is going through all sorts of legal jump roping here recently, all over the fact that he had behind locked doors documents that he declassified, and the DOJ, the National Archives, are ticked off. He's not handing them back as fast as they want to. So they're ticked off that a former president who is allowed to declassify documents had those documents behind a locked door that the Department of Justice knew about. He put an extra lock on the door to appease the DOJ, knowing about it. And he's being charged with all these counts of wrongdoing. Potentially facing 100 years in prison is that big, long, rounded number. And yet, Hunter Biden today pleaded guilty to federal charges. So, to two charges of failing to pay income tax. So each are misdemeanors. But then also, he was charged with knowingly possessing a firearm, knowing that he was an unlawful user and addicted to a controlled substance. So a drug addict with a gun. So and he's getting off with no jail time. And he did this in 2018. His then girlfriend / sister-in-law threw the gun away. All big fun story. But contrast that to anybody else who would be in that situation. I mean, not paying $2 or $3 million, because it's 1.5 each year. $3 million worth of taxes, or taxes on $3 million worth of income. So I think that's what they said. They said it was $100,000 for each of those years. So he failed to pay $200,000 total taxes. And then he possessed a weapon while he was a drug addict. So, Anybody else, any normal human being, the book would be thrown at him. You know that, I know that. Any normal human being, the book would be thrown at him. But because it is a Biden family member, slap on the wrist. It's going out with Tuesday's trash as far as the articles are concerned. The reporting on it is just going out with Tuesday's trash. No one cares about it, or at least no one's saying that they're caring about it. So why the difference? A man who is holding on too long to documents that the archives want. He did nothing wrong in obtaining those documents and holding on to those documents and declassifying those documents. But yet, the son of the man sitting in the White House basically gets off scot-free. Somehow, doesn't add up. It's unequal treatment. Tell me how that is not targeting your political opponent to sway an election. I don't think you can convince me otherwise. Moving on. Robert Kennedy Jr. A couple of episodes ago, I had posted a link to a conversation that he had with Jordan Peterson. Now, Jordan Peterson is doing this amazing thing. He's reaching out to those who are wanting to put their hat into the ring for president of this country. And he did so with Robert Kennedy Jr. And it was an amazing discussion that those two gentlemen had. And I posted the link to that discussion on that episode. Well, it comes to find out that it has been taken down. YouTube, in all of its glory, decided that the rhetoric was misinformation when it came to vaccines and vaccinations. As far as free speech goes, I'll back it up. If anybody knows me, I am sarcastic to a point. I say sarcastic things in order to hit a point. And this is one of those times. I am for no restrictions on speech. Even to the point of allowing someone to be able to yell fire in a movie theater. If, at the point that we can determine who said it, and there is no fire, the person who said it gets a good beat down. Because here's what will happen. What will happen is that person will not ever say fire again in a movie theater or any other place that's crowded, for that matter. Don't make it illegal to punch stupid people. This is the sarcasm coming in. Because the moment that that stupid message comes out of someone's mouth and they get rewarded for it, they will stop saying stupid things. Unfortunately, we can't do that. My point is this. As I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago also, is that those who have the power do what they will in enforcing improper restrictions or punishments on people. Last I checked, we're a nation of free speech. And the speech that Robert Kennedy Jr. stated is nowhere near the speech of what they consider, we still can't have total free speech under, similar to yelling fire in a crowded place. So why take off the video? Because we don't want people to be misinformed. Well, your job is not to be a fact checker. Your job is a platform in order to host things. Allow the consumer to decide what is right and what is not right. That was a whole big thing about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, who just recently admitted, oh yeah, some of the things that we were saying were misinformation because we were told to suppress it. Actually, true. Oops. Our bad. We didn't mean to call you names while we were denying the truth. So for YouTube to do that to Jordan Peterson's conversation with Robert Kennedy, to stifle Robert Kennedy's speech, is ridiculous. And here I am sitting on the platform calling the platform ridiculous. Doesn't mean I don't... Just because I'm on the platform doesn't mean I agree with everything the platform has to say or has to do or does. I can disagree with the platform. That's my right. I don't agree with everything that Robert Kennedy Jr. says. But I'm not going to sit here and advocate for him to be silenced. How about this? If what he said was wrong, how about the people who are behind all of these algorithms and what have you, who report this crap, find someone else and go put them on YouTube in a response to RFK? And then, if you really are about the truth, then how about you have that person and RFK Jr. talk to each other live about it, and then have that be the discussion? No, that's too much work. We're just going to shut somebody down because they're not toting party lines. Killing Kennedy again. Silencing the man. He says that there could be a plot that the CIA is trying to kill him too. Don't know what, if any, truth there is to that. But with what the FBI has been doing to Trump, by golly, and then the rest of the Americans, if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that I believe in the conspiracy theory that's happening. I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, it's a wonder. It's a wonder. Don't stifle the free speech of anybody, especially those that you don't agree with. Argue your point. That's all we're asking for. So, anyway, that's all I have for today, you guys. Everything that we've discussed is down in the description. I want y'all to have a wonderful day. I will catch you on the flip side.